Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is James Brew of the Brew Show. And as you can see, I'm in the Manchester United kit, which means it's time for business. We are here to talk about the 2022-23 Premier League season. And of course, by we, you can see me with three very handsome guys. This is Theophilus, aka Magneto, proud Liverpoolian. This is Kweku Club.
FC Barcelona, champion.
Champion. We will take our show for now. And of course, Chelsea's very own Michael. Guys, welcome to the Brew Show.
Thank you so much, James.
Refreshing. So, for some of us, we're about to enter a new season with high hopes. Some people won 2 trophies and narrowly missed out by 1 point on the league title. Some people lost 2 finals, but with new ownership, hoping something positive will come out of it. As for Barca, you know the scenario is like, but we will lend some expertise from the continent to the shores of England, and of course, we Red Devils are trying to leave the wilderness of Europa and come back into the promised land of the Champions League. So I think there's no better place for us to start than the champions, right? And who better to talk about the champions than the guy who finished second? Theophilus.
Yeah. So wherever everyone is watching us from, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. So this is the Sports Pluzz team, and we are here on the Brew Show. One of the best sports show on YouTube and all the social networks. So for Liverpool, last season. It would have been one of the best seasons for us, but then we went in a very, very sad way. It ended in a very, very sad way for us. But it's not easy to play more than 60 games and lose only about 5, a handful of it. And it's unfortunate we lost at the most important time. Winning 2 trophies, the FA Cup and the League Cup, we are really happy because it's a trophy that has eluded us for years. The last time we won the FA Cup was way back in 2006. The last time we won the League Cup was way back in 2011-2012 season. So we clearly tell that we're happy because, especially when it comes to club takes these kind of trophies not that seriously. So for us going to a final and not beating any other team but Chelsea, these are very stubborn. This is a very stubborn side. Beating them back to back on penalties was really nice for us. So we were expecting our boys to crown it with the Champions League, so that we also have happy hopes and enjoy the season. But unfortunately, it didn't end well for us. So coming into the new season, Charlie, we are really optimistic. Sadio Mane has left. He was a very, very important player in our team. He was, some people say, the spine of our team, which I strongly believe. He's left and it's going to affect us. But then, hey, we have the likes of Luis Diaz filling in the left side of the attack, and we have Darwin Nunes, coming in as a number 9.
You still have
Jota, serious Jota as well. So we are very optimistic. We are only hoping that this season will also go well, just like last season, and this time around be able to cross the final hurdle, more successful.
Okay. So you spoke about Liverpool's chances, but we know City has been a thorn in your side for the last 5 seasons. Do you expect it to be the same, or do you expect a new challenger to come into play, or it will be a clean sweep for you?
Like I always say, anytime we are starting a new season, when the fixtures come, the first team that I look out for is Liverpool. Then I look out for Manchester City fixtures. I don't usually care about the Chelseas, the Manchester Uniteds, the Arsenals, because I feel in these recent years, the men are always separated from the boys by the end of the season, and there's always a 2-horse race between Manchester City and Liverpool. So from the first match day, anytime Manchester City drops a point, I'm really excited. I can't lie to you about that. And I don't expect it to change this particular season. I'm expecting this season to be like the previous 4 or 5 seasons. Just that this particular season, I'm expecting a surprise element here. I expect Tottenham Hotspur to be challenging Liverpool and Manchester City. Yes, Chelsea is good, but I feel they are not really cut out for the challenge. You understand? Manchester United have a new manager. They are trying to find a new team, so it's going to take a while. because now when you look at the kind of gap or the kind of level Manchester City and Liverpool are taking the league to, unless you get 90 plus points before you can contest for the league. So for a team that's now trying to find this fit, it's going to be very difficult for them to catch that. So the only surprise element I'm really looking out for is Antonio Conte's Tottenham, because they've brought in a lot of exciting signings. So they already have their Son, their Hurricanes. They are now beginning to use Bissouma, which we all know how good he is. Ivan Perisic, Richarlison, fantastic. So I expect it to be very, very cagey. But then at the end of the day, I expect either Liverpool or Manchester City to win the league.
Now, Michael, I was trying to see how many times you mentioned Chelsea positively. They were not enough. So I know I'm going to expect you to hype up your team. Do you think the transition from the Abramovich era to the Todd Bowley era would affect you guys, or do you think it will be seamless?
In a way, it's going to affect. In a way, it's going to affect us, because it looked like in last season, it did affect us. In the latter stages of the season, you see the players were even playing with happiness and all that. But I think the transition will help, because Bowley is trying to prove a point to the fans. So he came in, he even brought Sterling, brought Kalidou Koulibaly. It's a great thing. So I think the upcoming season will be a good thing for Chelsea. He's trying to be at par with Manchester City and Liverpool, because arguably for the last 4 years, or 5 years, City and Liverpool are on top. So Thomas Tuchel and Tom Bowley are trying to be at par with Manchester City and Liverpool. I think the signings he has done so far is doing well.
So do you think this season you can compete with these two, or do you think it's a step too far?
Oh yeah, we can compete. I think we should do more signings also to be at par with them.
How many more signings do you think your club needs?
We need some couple of signings, especially in our midfield. This team have good midfield, so we need a couple of good midfielders in the team, because our midfielders are not trying to prove a point. You get me? So we need a couple of good midfielders in the team to help the team progress to what Todd Bowley wanted to be. So I think maybe we get a good defensive midfielder to be at par with N'Golo Kante, because Jorginho for the last 2 years, Jorginho has not been good talent. So we need quality midfielder. We need a quality midfielder. We've bought Koulibaly, good defender. We've bought Sterling. He has been in the league for so many years.
Yeah.
He has the experience, and I think he can do well for Chelsea. Yeah.
Kweku, now it's interesting having you from a lover of a Spanish football team to talk about the English Premier League, but I know you are definitely going to provide a lot of valuable insights into this. From the outside looking in, who do you think could challenge City apart from Liverpool?
I think Chelsea.
Okay.
Chelsea is the only team aside Liverpool which comes into mind when you talk about another team challenging Manchester City for the title. I think Chelsea has that motivation. Chelsea has that discipline to remain consistent for a while compared to the likes of Arsenal, Tottenham, and the other teams. You have to take into consideration the energy, the enthusiasm of the players, and how good their coaches are. When you make the comparison, Thomas Tuchel is head above all the other coaches which you mentioned. So I think Chelsea is the only team which can rival Manchester City aside Liverpool. Okay. However, speaking about a team like Manchester United, like I said earlier on, Manchester United with Ten Hag can also achieve something great this season. I'm really optimistic. Taking into consideration how the man is beginning to shape the team in terms of their style of play, how serious they suddenly look like. I know some may argue, it's just like some preseason and Manchester United, yes, they will just be there in the most serious situation. You have to show working. But if they should continue like this, and there should be telepathy amongst the players, and the players get used to each other, there is harmony in the dressing room, they all understand the coach's ideas, I think Manchester United will also be a force to reckon with. We are talking about somebody who is going to, a team who is going to, challenge Manchester City for the title. Then on that note, it can be Chelsea and Manchester United. But if I had to choose between the two, I'll choose Chelsea. Because I know how Chelsea can fight when Chelsea wants the title. I know how Chelsea can push you to be yourself when Chelsea wants to overtake you. Chelsea has that thing over Manchester United, over Arsenal, over Tottenham. So I'll take Chelsea.
I mean, I remember the title race 09-10 when it was, I think, Ancelotti and Ferguson going neck and neck, and they went all the way to the last day. United were hoping Chelsea would have dropped points on the final day against Wigan, and you ended up beating Wigan 8-0. So I know all too well how Chelsea can be single-minded and focused when they are looking for a trophy.
Yeah, then again, it's a good thing for the club because look, the new owner, Todd Bowley, would like to prove something, would like to prove a point to the fans. So I think it's a blessing in the disguise for the Chelsea football fraternity because look, we have a new owner. He needs to prove something. He needs to buy players for Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel has no reason
to fail.
If
you equip him with what he needs there. Aye. So nobody spoke about North London clubs, and you can't really blame them. For a long time, they've been battling for Europa spots, but they've both strengthened this time around, and I have to admit they both strengthened wisely. Both of them have added to their forward line with Brazilians, Arsenal having Gabriel Jesus and Tottenham going for Richarlison. Both of them have also strengthened in midfield, Arsenal Fabio Vieira, Tottenham Bissouma. Richarlison can also be in the midfield situation if you want to add him there. Both of them have added 4 or 5 other players. Tottenham have added Perisic, Arsenal have added Zinchenko, who could either be a left back or an AM if need be. Sensible signings, and of course they've added backup goalkeepers as well. Matt Stenner for the Gunners and Fraser Foster for the Spurs. Now, which of them do you think will have a better chance of, one, being in the Champions League next season, and 2, maybe running away with a trophy after Theophilus?
You know, for me, especially the last season, I developed a little bit of a soft spot for Arsenal because I enjoyed their football, I enjoyed the way they were playing. The likes of Martin Odegaard, Emil Smith Rowe, our own Thomas Partey in the midfield. Their play is really scintillating. They have really nice build-up and everything. But it was just unfortunate they weren't too focused because at a point we all thought they were going to play in the top 4.
Hands down.
They beat Manchester United. Everyone was expecting them to go on and win their next 2 matches to qualify. Then they dropped a lot of points. So for me, it is good they've brought in Gabriel Jesus. We all know he's a very quality striker. And since he came in, we've all seen what he's been doing. Arsenal has been creating a lot of chances since the departure of Aubameyang. We all know Lacazette isn't really good. He isn't really prolific. So they were heavily dependent on Nketiah and Saka and Martinelli. These guys are going to be the best finishers in the game. So when they are bringing in someone like Gabriel Jesus, it's going to be really good for them. And when you also look at the fact that they've brought in Alexander Zinchenko, he's a well-experienced boy in the Premier League. So he's going to really improve their team. However, Antonio Conte is a manager who is tried and tested. He's proven beyond reasonable doubt that he's a demanding manager. And he says that when I demand this ABC and you give it to me, I am going to achieve this for you. He's done it everywhere. He's gone to Chelsea, Inter Milan, Juventus. You understand? But this particular season with Tottenham Hotspur, it's not a Premier League winning side. They are really good when it comes to top 4 and maybe finishing in the top half of the table. Whether he can win the Premier League, no, I don't think so. Any trophy will be enormous for them because it's been more than 20-30 years since they won a trophy. So I think he should target probably the FA Cup or let's say the League Cup, just to cheer up the fans and ginger the spirit for the next season. You understand? But I strongly believe that Tottenham Hotspur is going to finish in the top 4. Now Arsenal has to try as much as possible to fight against Chelsea for other top 4 slots. You understand? I say Chelsea because if you want to be among the best, you have to fight with the best.
Yes.
You understand? And at this particular moment, the top 3 teams in this particular season, the relatively easier option for them is Chelsea.
And because it's a London team,
you understand? That is they are your rivals. So Arsenal fans, if you guys want to play in the top 4, target Chelsea. But at this particular moment, Tottenham Hotspur is a little bit ahead of you guys. You understand? Chelsea was ahead of you this particular last season, but with a new owner, completely new, a lot of new players coming in and a lot of things, you guys can actually compete them. So if you want to target a team, target Chelsea. You understand?
But why are you trying to say you should target Chelsea?
Because although you finished ahead of them as a third and fifth, you looked weaker when you were finishing the season.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, I think if the season was extended by 5 more games, people would have dropped out. You had amassed a lot of points early, and that's why I feel also saved you, because the back line was shaky. The keeper, because he didn't know what he was having in front of him.
You should also forget that the club had its own problems.
That one too.
Managing problems.
Yeah.
It did affect the club.
Yeah.
You get me? So for that one, it's out of it. It's out of the scenario. Take it out of the scenario.
This same thing, it's not as if it has ended automatically.
Yeah.
It's going to transcend into the new season because a new manager. You understand?
Yeah.
See, let me give you a perfect scenario. Abramovich never interfered in transfer policies. He didn't answer as a sporting director. He only raised, they tell him the amount he pays. But Todd Bradley is in the meetings with the players and their agents. You understand? So it should tell you that this guy is coming to bring in with new things, new techniques, new strategies. You understand? So he's totally going to change the team. But then I know Thomas Tuchel was a quality manager, so he can go on. You understand? That's what I'm saying. If Arsenal fans want a side to target, to kick out of the top four, it should be Chelsea.
For me, okay.
With Arsenal, if you buy the best, if you buy players from the best team in England, then you are on course to also be in the best team.
But you buy their reserves.
No, but they are players. They are players from the best team.
They are champions
in England.
And the coach is also from there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So it will strengthen you. That is the advantage I feel Arsenal has over Tottenham.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Mikel Arteta, because for the past few seasons, Arsenal's campaign has been kind of like a roller coaster in terms of management and the style of play, inconsistencies amongst players and all that. We all know Arsenal, which used to play champagne football back in the days, got lost, and then finally they are getting back on track.
That is palm wine football.
Exactly. Now they are communion safe. You see. So Arteta is doing really well, and how Arsenal has moved on from their retrogression, and now they are just improving, and then they keep improving. You notice they keep getting stronger every time, match in, match out. Every time when you face Arsenal will give you a run for your money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at the game they played against Manchester United. This is the Arsenal of old.
Yeah.
Look at the game they played against City, the New Year's Day that I felt they should have won.
Yes.
Exactly.
Last minute.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then even if they play against the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City and let's say Liverpool, even though they lose, they go home with their heads held high.
Yeah.
So this is the Arsenal. This is the Arsenal people want to enjoy. So Arteta has done really well, and I hope there are other signings too which will come in and then strengthen Arsenal for the better. And hopefully they go ahead of Tottenham. Between the two, I will choose Arsenal.
Me, I would choose Tottenham because look, Antonio Conte alone, it's every reason to make the top four. His philosophy in the game is different. If Conte says, look, I will challenge for the league, he will do it.
And I feel that's where the Richarlison side they come in.
Of course.
Because Richarlison is both a 7 and
of course.
So 11 and a 9. Yeah.
Yes. Look at the likes of Bissouma. Look how with Brighton. Look how he was performing.
Yeah.
Brought him to Tottenham.
So you can either pair him with Hojbjerg or rotate them.
Of course. We've got him one quality wing. You can play him as a wing back or wing forward. Perisic. Second
striker self.
Versatile player.
Yeah.
Very quality player.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm tipping Tottenham to go ahead of Arsenal. With the signings, these two signings Antonio Conte have made.
Now, the side nobody wants to have their team into relegation zone. Being there, I think I have one coach who will suffer this season. I don't know if you all agree, but I really fear for Everton. And I fear for Fulham because, let's be honest, they are the biggest yo-yo club around right now. And with regards to my third club going down, I don't know if that's going to be Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, or somebody else from the established sides. But who do you guys fancy to go down or to struggle?
As a Liverpoolian, I'll be very against Everton. But then for the sake of the Merseyside debut, I was rooting for them to stay that season. But then I realized something in this particular transfer window, they are not busy. They are not trying to improve their team. Yes, they are signing 1 or 2 players here and there, but then they are not quality enough to improve the team. So if they don't take care and they are going to do what they did last season, they wouldn't be fortunate enough to dodge relegation this season. However, Nottingham Forest, it's been more than 30 years since they played in the Premier League. Yeah. I watched a couple of their games and even their playoff games, and they are a really good side. They're a really good side. Now they've even brought in Jesse Lingard, who is now their record, salary earner. So Nottingham Forest, it depends on their stats for the season. If they start well, fine. But like you said, Fulham, I am tipping Fulham to get relegated. Yeah. I don't know for the reason, but then anytime Norwich or Fulham comes into the Premier League, they automatically go. So for me, I'll be tipping Fulham and Bournemouth.
Yeah. Because I haven't heard anything.
Yes, I haven't heard anything. I think they don't like financially. They are not that strong, and they don't really have a strong team. So the third spot is probably going to be between Norwich and Everton. You understand? And even Leeds United. Yeah. Because Leeds United, you sold your star player. Yeah. Yes, we are signing here players here and there, but hey, if they don't improve, they are going to be found wanted. Because it happened to Burnley. Burnley was relegation threatened for 2-3 seasons. And eventually they went.
4-5
You understand? Yeah. You can't always be at the mercy of luck. You have to also push. So Leeds United, Everton, and Nottingham Forest. One of them will fill in for the third relegation slot.
Yeah. For me, I would love to make my summation of maybe 5 games in the season and see which teams maybe will falter. But I think Everton should be very careful.
Because they've not bought anyone like you said. And I hear financial fair play is really hitting them hard. What is actually saving them from being punished is the COVID year. Yeah. So I think the FA wrote everybody off for the COVID year, and that is why they had to sell Richarlison. Yeah. But I hear on the 30th of June, everybody had to submit their losses or profits, and there's a threshold you shouldn't cross. From what I heard, Everton needed about 50 million to survive, and they sold Richarlison for 60 million.
But then again, I trust in Lampard because you know what Lampard did with Chelsea. The year Chelsea had the ban on them, they were not able to buy any players, brought in the academy players, did well in the league. I think he placed 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, he placed 3rd.
He placed 3rd or 4th in the league, which was very good. So, for me, I think what can save Everton here is Frank Lampard. Bringing in the young players, try to build them up and play the league.
But their first 2 matches are not matches you want to play with young boys. So Chelsea and Liverpool.
Again, it's pre-season. Let's start the season and see. Yeah, but we've seen teams that have good pre-season, but when the season starts,
they are nowhere
to be found.
Yeah.
You see, when other teams are strengthening, they are and you are sitting down idle, not thinking about how to reinforce and then correct your mistakes from the past season, then it will be detrimental to you, that particular club. With the issue of Norwich and Fulham being relegated, almost every time they come to the top tier, it's merely psychological, and it can haunt them, provided you don't put in much effort this season. So I feel they can put their past humiliations behind them if they work hard this season. So it doesn't come back to haunt you, because at a point in time, let's say this coming season, if it gets to a time where they feel, things are not going so well for them, and then you look at the table and then they are down there, it will start coming. They will start reminiscing about their past failures, and then it will be psychological. Football is a psychological sport.
Yes.
That is one aspect people underrate.
Yeah. For example, one piece of mind games that I still find funny. Fulham has never won an away game at Arsenal, and this is how they ended the statement, whether league, cup or friendly. They've never won an away game at Arsenal, and this record is over 120 years old.
Look at this. It is more like a curse, somebody would say.
Yeah. I mean, the last time they played at Emirates, they were leading Arsenal 3-1 with 5 minutes to go, and they ended 3-2, and I was like, wow.
You just can't find a way to, not let history repeat itself.
Yeah.
So I think it's all down to hard work, the sacrifice and luck, particularly, because you can be putting in much effort. You have players at your disposal who are consistent, who are giving you superb performances here and there. But then if you are unfortunate with injuries.
And you have a
They
small
cannot-
squad.
Exactly, and you have a small squad in which you can't really rotate effectively to go against you. So they can put it behind them, provided they work hard this season. And with Everton, like my brother here said, Lampard is somebody who has showed in Chelsea that he can use the young lads to achieve something. At least, if not for anything, today we can all hit our chest and say that he's the one who actually brought Mason Mount into the limelight. Now we are here, we are singing praises when Mount is giving superb performances and all that. It is all down to all the credit is down to Lampard. This is what Lampard did. But let's put aside the fact that he wanted to make it more of like some British affair, something to the extent of benching the likes of N'Golo Kante, changing positions here and there.
As soon as he had Tomori, may switch nationality bench day.
Exactly. You see, but aside that, Lampard, the glimpse that we saw about Lampard and young lads when it's being given to him, Lampard is the right coach to handle them.
Okay, so now I'll start with Michael this time around. Which club do you think will be the biggest surprise package positively?
Wow. Positive. That's in positive. I'm waiting for Brentford.
You're going for Brentford.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Brentford. They could be the surprise package this season. Provided they do their things right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kweku.
I think Brentford too, irrespective of the fact that they sold Christian Eriksen to Manchester United. They were really playing good football.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eriksen,
yes,
yeah.
when you meet Brentford, there will be a thorn in your flesh, even if you come out victorious.
Look at the TT they played with Liverpool.
Exactly. It was scary. Like, you take the lead, Brentford will fight back. Their resilience was something else. So I think if they should keep up that same fight and courage which they had last season, they will even do better this season. So I'm tipping Brentford.
Magneto.
Yeah, for me, I'm tipping Nottingham Forest. For the reason being, they are traditional household English football team. You know, 2 Champions League is nothing. It's not a small feat.
After Chelsea and go combined get you 2. And that's because it's all Chelsea.
So it should tell you that, like I said, if they do their stuff right, they are going to dodge the relegation. So if they dodge, then it means that they are doing something right, and they can probably finish in the top half of the season, of the table. Sorry, because they have a relatively good team, and they have enormous support. They have a really, really good support in place. And Nottingham Forest, they haven't been in the league for about 30 years, so it's enough motivation for the boys to play. I'm saying when we watch their playoff games, you see the kind of support they have. I remember one of their playoff games, their first playoff game, they played against Bournemouth. And they played at home, and they were going away to go and play against Bournemouth. And the kind of entourage, the kind of support that they saw their team off to the airport, it was massive. It was like a Liverpool or Manchester United sending their players away. So it should tell you that, see, they are ready. They've been wanting this for the past 30 years, so they will come in really hungry. So for me, the team that I'm tipping to have a positive surprise impact in the league is Nottingham Forest.
Guys, you heard the question. So we are tipping people for the top 4, we are tipping people for the relegation battle, we are tipping people as the biggest surprise package. Do share your thoughts in the comment section as well. So guys, for rubber stamping purposes, each of you should mention your top 4 in no particular order. Once again, you start.
Okay, fine. My top 4, I think Liverpool is going to win the Premier League this season. Manchester City is going to finish 2nd. And maybe Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur, one of them will be, so 3rd and 4th will be shared between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester United, maybe I add Manchester United to it. So Liverpool first, City 2nd, Chelsea, Spurs, United will share the rest of the season.
Now this is a race. We are talking about. Mention your top 4.
The way he positioned them there, I have a feeling he puts United 5th.
Okay, so
Mention your top 4.
so I should go on. Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Spurs, United. United is 5th, but Europa again.
Okay. So Mike.
For me, Chelsea is winning the league. Like seriously. Todd Bowley. Chelsea is winning the league. Man City 2nd, Liverpool 3rd. For some shaky reasons, I'm thinking United can make a top 4 this time around. Yeah, I at the expense of Arsenal in this place.
So Arsenal 5th, Spurs 6th. Okay. Kweku?
I'm tipping Liverpool to win the league this season. Manchester City 2nd, Chelsea 3rd, and then Tottenham Hotspur 4th.
5th and 6th. So who is 5th, who's 6th?
5th and 6th. Arsenal will be 5th. Manchester United 6th.
So just the way it was for the last
Cristiano
game.
Ronaldo stays, it should go deeper. You should find oil. Yes, it should go deeper.
Okay, for me, this is purely sentimental. I put Man United and Tottenham in the top 4, and then the top 2 there, I think, will remain in that bracket. Chelsea, I want to see how the first 15 games will go with the new owner. I think him not knowing how football works might go against them, but then again, he wants to be hands-on, so anything can happen. Arsenal, when the Europa starts, I think people will find themselves deceived. So that's mine. And we didn't mention 2 or 3 clubs for a specific reason. So in the comment section, tell us where you think they'll finish. Newcastle, Aston Villa, and West Ham. Tell us where you think these 3 clubs will finish. Do you think Saudi money will work?
We are forgetting about Newcastle.
Yeah.
With their
Saudi money.
Money and all that.
Yeah.
Like they can really.
So where do you think Newcastle will finish? Let us know in the comment section. And signing out, I'll let my guests give you their social media handles, and of course I'll sign out the best way you know I do. Mike.
Okay, so it's Kweku Michael on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. You can also search for Kwesi Jr. on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Yes.
Quick.
Nana Kweku 2016. It's not in caps on Instagram and then Twitter, and then Nana Kweku on Facebook.
Please spell Kweku for us.
Kweku.
Okay, that's right. Magneto.
Yeah, mine is Kojo Magneto on Twitter, and Facebook is Theophilus Primacy on Facebook. These are the only 2 social media handles.
That's right. So guys, this is James Bremisa once again of the Brew Show. You can find James on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on LinkedIn at James Bremisa or JBrew3690. And you can find the Brew Show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on YouTube at the Brew Show or the Brew Show 3690. Guys, the Premiership starts on Friday, I think the 5th of August, and it's Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Friday night's football to usher us into a brand new season, and we'll see you again in May, and we'll see who will be smiling at the end of the season. Enjoy the Brew Show. Enjoy listening to us on Sports Pluzz, on Plus FM, Plus 89.9 FM with the host by Kweku every Saturday from 10 a.m. You can find us, you can find Patrick Bunny from Mahai, Charlie Kwame, Charlie Wichow. And we all have our own unique flavor that we're adding to the show. So please, if you are tuned in already, make sure you do. Bye.